Welcome to Soft Light Theory, where ideas don't just reach your mind, they rest in your heart. Tonight, we begin a new journey with the Mindful Self-Compassion Workbook by Kristen Neff and Christopher Germer. Our first step is a question many quietly carry. Why does self-compassion heal anxiety? Anxiety shows up in forgotten breaths, in restless nights, and in the constant weight of not enough. But here, in this video, we'll walk through the solution, chapter by chapter. Each section is a gentle step, understanding where anxiety begins, how self-compassion softens it, and how you can practice it in your own life. As you listen, notice where you are. Maybe it's midnight in London, or dawn in Sydney. Maybe you're in New York, slowing down at the end of the day, or in Karachi, under a quiet sky. Now tell us in the comments, where are you listening from, and what time is it right now? Together, we'll create a constellation of voices across the world. Here, the answers don't come all at once. They unfold slowly, like pages turning, and by the end, you'll carry not just knowledge, but a practice, a way forward. So take a breath, settle in, and together, across time zones and continents, we'll begin this healing journey. Chapter 1. The Gentle Beginning. Your breath, your anchor. The summary of this chapter. Your breath is the soft tide that carries you inward. It whispers safety to your nervous system, reminding your body that it is not in danger. Tonight, you begin with the science of calm and the quiet miracle of your inhale. You lie down, and the world begins to hush. The weight of the day loosens its grip, and in the stillness, your breath becomes the first thing you notice. It rises, it falls, like waves brushing the shore of your chest. You do not need to control it. You only need to feel it. This breath, so ordinary and constant, is your body's quiet anchor to safety. It is the first rhythm you ever knew, long before memory, before thought. In the womb, your mother's breath shaped your world. Now, your own breath shapes your inner landscape. As you inhale, tiny muscles between your ribs stretch gently. Your diaphragm lowers like a curtain drawn across a stage, making room for air to enter. Oxygen flows in, not with urgency, but with invitation. It enters your lungs, then your bloodstream, and soon it reaches every cell in your body, a silent messenger of life. With each exhale, carbon dioxide leaves. It is not waste, but a whisper of completion. Your body has used what it needed, and now it releases what no longer serves. This cycle, in and out, is your body's way of saying, you are here, you are safe. Your breath is not just a mechanical act. It is a conversation between your body and your brain. The moment you slow your breathing, your nervous system listens. It hears the signal. There is no danger now. And like a child soothed by a lullaby, your heart rate begins to soften. This is the science of calm. Your breath activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of you designed for rest, for digestion, for healing. It is the opposite of fight or flight. It is the gentle tide that washes away tension. Imagine your breath as a tide pool. When anxiety rises, the waters churn. But when you breathe slowly, the surface becomes still enough to reflect the sky. Your thoughts may still swirl beneath, but the surface, your awareness, remains calm. You do not need to force this. You only need to notice. Notice how your shoulders respond to your breath. Notice how your jaw unclenches, how your belly softens. This is your body, remembering how to trust itself. There is a nerve, the vagus nerve, that runs from your brainstem down through your chest and abdomen. It is like a long ribbon of communication, connecting your breath to your heart, your gut, your mood. When you breathe deeply, you stimulate this nerve in the most natural way. It sends signals upward. All is well. And your brain listens. This is not magic. It is biology wrapped in kindness. Your breath is the simplest form of self-compassion. It asks nothing of you but presence. It does not judge. It does not rush. You may notice that when you are anxious, your breath becomes shallow, quick, tight. This is your body preparing to run, to fight, to survive. But when you choose to breathe slowly, you are telling your body you are not in danger. And slowly, it begins to believe you. Let your breath be your anchor. Let it tether you to this moment, not as a demand, but as a comfort. You are not drifting. You are held. Inhale gently. Feel the coolness of air entering your nose. Feel your chest expand like a quiet balloon. Exhale slowly. Feel the warmth of release. Feel your body soften. This rhythm is ancient. It has carried humans through fear, through grief, through joy. It is the same breath that monks follow in meditation, the same breath that singers shape into song. It is yours now, a tool, a companion, a guide. You do not need to fix anything tonight. You do not need to solve your anxiety. You only need to breathe. And in that breath, you begin to heal. Let your breath be a lullaby. Let it rock you gently into rest. Let it remind you that you are not broken, only tired, only tender, only human. As you lie here, your breath continues its quiet work. It nourishes your cells, calms your nerves, and whispers to your brain, you are safe, you are loved, you are enough. You may feel a subtle warmth in your chest, a loosening in your throat, a softening behind your eyes. These are signs that your body is listening, that your breath is reaching places words cannot. Tonight, you begin with breath. But beneath that breath, there is a deeper rhythm, a quiet system that listens, responds, and remembers. It is time to meet the whispering pathways of your nervous system and learn how compassion speaks through the body itself. Chapter 2. The Nervous System's Whisper. The summary of this chapter. Your body listens before your mind does. The vagus nerve hums like a lullaby, guiding your heart rate, your digestion, your sense of peace. You'll explore how self-compassion speaks directly to this system, like a hand resting gently on your shoulder. There is a quiet language inside you. It does not speak in words or thoughts, but in pulses, rhythms, and gentle signals. It is the language of your nervous system, the body's own whispering guide. You may think your mind leads the way, but long before you form a thought, your body has already responded. It notices the tone of a voice, the flicker of light, the warmth of a touch. It listens for safety, and it listens for threat. This listening happens deep within you, in a system that stretches from your brainstem down through your chest, your belly, your breath. It is called the autonomic nervous system, a name that means self-governing. It runs quietly in the background, like a caretaker tending to your garden while you sleep. There are two main branches to this system. One prepares you for action. It speeds your heart, sharpens your senses, tightens your muscles. This is the sympathetic branch, often called fight or flight. It is your body's alarm bell, ready to protect you. The other branch is softer. It slows your heart, deepens your breath, relaxes your digestion. This is the parasympathetic branch, the one that helps you rest, heal, and connect. It is the body's lullaby, the gentle hum beneath your skin. At the center of this lullaby is a long, winding nerve called the vagus nerve. Its name comes from the Latin word for wandering, and it truly does wander, touching your throat, your heart, your lungs, your stomach, your intestines. It is the body's great communicator, carrying messages of calm and connection. When you breathe slowly, when you feel safe, when someone speaks to you with kindness, the vagus nerve activates. It sends signals upward to your brain. All is well. You can soften now, and your brain listens. This is why self-compassion matters. It is not just a thought, it is a physiological event. When you speak gently to yourself, when you place a hand on your heart, when you allow yourself to rest, you are activating this system. You are telling your body, you are safe, you are loved. Imagine your nervous system as a harp. Each string is a pathway, some tuned for alertness, some tuned for peace. When you practice compassion, you pluck the strings of calm. You create a melody that soothes your entire being. This melody is not always easy to find. If you've lived with anxiety, your sympathetic system may be louder, always ready, always bracing. It may feel like your body is a clenched fist, waiting for something to go wrong. But even then, the parasympathetic system is still there, like a quiet room behind a closed door. You can learn to open that door. You can learn to listen for the whisper. One way is through breath, as you learned before. Another way is through touch, a gentle hand on your chest, a warm blanket around your shoulders, a soft pillow beneath your head. These sensations speak directly to your nervous system, telling it, you are held. Even your voice can help. When you speak slowly, with warmth and rhythm, your vagus nerve responds. This is why lullabies calm babies, why chanting soothes monks, why humming can ease your own heart. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to be gentle. Each time you choose kindness, your nervous system learns a new pattern. It begins to trust that safety is possible. It begins to relax its grip. This is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change, to rewire, to grow. Your nervous system is not fixed. It is shaped by experience, and you are the sculptor. When you practice self-compassion, you are not just comforting yourself. You are reshaping your biology. You are building new pathways that lead to peace. This takes time. It takes repetition. But each moment of kindness is a thread in the tapestry of healing. And over time, the pattern becomes stronger. You may notice small shifts. Your breath deepens, your shoulders lower, your thoughts soften. These are signs that your nervous system is listening, that the whisper is becoming a song. Let yourself rest in this knowledge. You are not broken. You are beautifully responsive. Your body is trying to protect you, even when it feels overwhelmed. And now, you are learning to guide it gently, to speak to it in the language it understands, to offer it the safety it longs for. Tonight, as you lie here, feel the hum beneath your skin. Feel the quiet rhythm of your heart, the soft rise of your breath, the warmth of your own presence. This is the nervous system's whisper. It is always with you. And when you listen, you begin to heal. But healing is not only about calming, it is also about understanding the storms, the chemical weather that rises within you when anxiety takes hold. Next, you'll step into the heart of that storm and learn how cortisol shapes the skies of your inner world. Chapter 3. Cortisol and the Storm Within. The summary of this chapter. Anxiety is not weakness, it is a signal. Cortisol rises like thunderclouds, preparing you to survive. But when the storm never ends, your body forgets how to rest. Tonight, you learn how kindness calms the chemical weather. There is a storm that lives quietly inside you. It does not roar like thunder, but it hums beneath your skin, a chemical wind that rises when the world feels uncertain. This storm has a name: cortisol. Cortisol is not your enemy. It is your body's way of preparing you to survive. When danger appears, real or imagined, cortisol surges through your bloodstream like a signal flare in the night. It tells your heart to beat faster, your lungs to draw in more air, your muscles to tighten, ready to act. This is ancient wisdom. Your ancestors needed this storm to escape predators, to endure famine, to protect their children. Cortisol helped them run, fight, focus. It was a gift, a burst of energy when it mattered most. But in your world, the threats are not lions in the grass. They are emails unanswered, voices raised, memories that ache, futures that feel uncertain. And the storm, once brief and purposeful, becomes chronic, a weather pattern that never clears. When cortisol stays too long, your body begins to forget how to rest. Your sleep becomes shallow, your digestion slows, your immune system weakens. You feel tired but wired, alert but overwhelmed. This is the cost of a storm that never ends. You may notice it in your chest, a tightness, a flutter, or in your thoughts, racing, looping, never settling. You may feel it in your jaw, your shoulders, your stomach. Cortisol does not speak in words. It speaks in tension. But here is the quiet truth. You can calm the storm, not by force, not by suppression, but by kindness. Kindness is the counter-signal. It tells your body, you are not in danger. And slowly, the clouds begin to part. When you practice self-compassion, you activate systems that oppose cortisol. You release oxytocin, a hormone of connection and calm. You engage the parasympathetic nervous system, which slows your heart, softens your breath, and quiets the alarm. Imagine your body as a landscape. Cortisol is the storm that floods the valleys, but compassion is the sun that dries the soil, the breeze that clears the sky. It does not erase the storm, but it helps the land recover. You can begin with small acts, a gentle breath, a hand on your heart, a whispered phrase, "I'm doing the best I can." These are not empty gestures. They are biochemical interventions, signals that shift your internal weather. Even your thoughts matter. When you judge yourself harshly, you fuel the storm. But when you speak kindly, you calm the winds. Your brain listens to your words, and your body responds. This is not wishful thinking. It is science. Studies show that people who practice self-compassion have lower cortisol levels, better sleep, stronger immune function. Their storms pass more quickly, and their skies stay clearer. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to be gentle. Each time you choose kindness, you change the forecast. You teach your body that safety is possible, even in uncertainty. Let yourself rest in this knowledge. You are not broken. You are beautifully adaptive. Your storm is not a flaw. It is a signal. And now, you are learning to respond with care. Tonight, as you lie here, feel the storm begin to quiet. Feel your breath deepen, your muscles soften, your thoughts slow. You are not pushing the storm away. You are inviting peace in. You may still feel the clouds. That is okay. Healing is not a sudden clearing. It is a gradual shift, a softening, a remembering, a return. Let your body know it is safe. Let your mind know it is loved. Let your heart know it is enough. And as the storm fades, you begin to feel something else, a warmth, a connection, a gentle embrace from within. This is oxytocin, the hormone of safety and bonding. It rises not in fear, but in love, and it is waiting to meet you in the next chapter. Chapter 4. The Science of Safety, Oxytocin's Embrace. The summary of this chapter. Oxytocin is the molecule of connection, released not just in love, but in moments of self-kindness. It wraps around your heart like a warm blanket, reminding your brain that you are not alone. You'll discover how compassion changes your chemistry. There is a warmth that rises in you, not from heat, but from connection. It is subtle, like the hush of twilight, but powerful enough to soften fear. This warmth has a name: oxytocin. Oxytocin is often called the bonding hormone, but its story is deeper than romance or touch. It is the chemistry of safety, the biology of belonging. And tonight, you begin to feel its quiet embrace. Your body releases oxytocin in moments of closeness, a hug, a kind word, a shared silence. But it also rises when you treat yourself gently, when you speak kindly to your own heart, when you rest without guilt, when you forgive yourself for being human. This molecule does not shout. It whispers. It moves through your bloodstream like a soft current, reaching your brain, your heart, your gut. It tells your nervous system, you are not alone. Oxytocin lowers cortisol, that stormy hormone you met before. It slows your heart rate, eases your breath, and helps your body return to calm. It is the counterbalance to stress, the chemical lullaby that soothes your cells. Imagine oxytocin as a warm blanket woven from threads of kindness. Each thread is a moment of connection, a smile, a memory, a breath. And when you wrap yourself in it, your body begins to trust again. This trust is not abstract. It is physical. Oxytocin affects the amygdala, the part of your brain that scans for danger. When oxytocin rises, the amygdala quiets. It stops shouting threat and begins to whisper, safe. You may feel this shift as a softening in your chest, a loosening in your jaw, a sense that you can finally exhale. These are signs that oxytocin is working, not as magic, but as medicine. You do not need another person to feel this. You can generate oxytocin through self-compassion. A gentle hand on your heart, a soothing phrase spoken aloud, a moment of stillness where you say, I am here for myself. Even imagining kindness can trigger oxytocin. Your brain does not always distinguish between real and remembered care. So when you recall a loving moment, your body responds as if it is happening now. This is why visualization matters. Picture someone who loves you, a friend, a pet, a memory. Feel their warmth, their presence. Let it fill your body like sunlight. This is oxytocin rising. You can also create rituals, a warm bath, a slow walk, a journal entry that begins with Dear Me. These are not indulgences. They are biochemical invitations to safety and healing. Oxytocin is also released during acts of giving. When you help someone, when you show empathy, when you offer comfort, your body rewards you with connection. This is why kindness feels good, because it is good for you. But tonight, you focus on receiving, on letting yourself be the one held, the one comforted, the one who deserves care. You may feel resistance, a voice that says, I haven't earned this. But oxytocin does not wait for perfection. It responds to presence, to the simple act of showing up for yourself. Let yourself be wrapped in this truth. You are wired for connection. Your body knows how to heal when it feels safe. And safety begins with compassion. As you lie here, feel the warmth in your chest. Not imagined, but real, chemical, cellular. This is oxytocin's embrace. It is the same molecule that bonds parent to child, friend to friend, you to yourself. Let it flow through you like a gentle stream. Let it soften the edges of your day. Let it remind you that you are not alone. And as this warmth settles, you may begin to notice another voice inside, one that speaks not in kindness, but in criticism. It is old, familiar, and often loud. Next, you will meet this inner critic, not to fight it, but to understand where it came from, and how compassion can gently change its tune. Chapter 5. The Inner Critic. A voice from long ago. The summary of this chapter. That harsh voice in your head is ancient, a survival tool shaped by fear and rejection. But it no longer protects you. It only wounds. You'll learn how self-compassion rewires this voice, softening it into a whisper of support. There is a voice inside you. It does not speak with kindness. It interrupts your quiet moments, questions your worth, reminds you of every flaw. You know this voice well. It is the inner critic. It speaks in tones of urgency, as if failure is always near. It tells you to do more, be better, to never rest, never soften. And though it feels cruel, it was not born from cruelty. This voice is ancient. It was shaped long ago when belonging meant survival, when rejection could mean danger, and approval was the safest shelter. Your brain learned to scan for mistakes, to anticipate judgment, to correct itself before others could. The inner critic is a survival tool. It evolved to protect you from shame, exclusion, and harm. It is your brain's attempt to keep you inside the circle, to make you acceptable, to shield you from pain. But the world has changed, and the voice, once useful, now wounds more than it protects. It keeps you in a loop of self-doubt, a cycle of tension, a fog of never enough. You may hear it when you wake, before your feet touch the floor. You may hear it when you try something new, or when you rest, or when you speak your truth. It whispers, "Not good enough." It shouts, "You'll fail." It sighs, "Why bother?" This voice is not your fault. It is a pattern, a neural pathway carved by repetition. But patterns can change, and tonight you begin to change them. Self-compassion is the antidote. It does not silence the critic with force. It listens, understands, and gently rewrites the message. Imagine your brain as a forest. The inner critic is a well-worn trail, trampled by years of fear and habit. But compassion is a new path, soft underfoot, lined with gentleness. Each time you choose kindness, you walk this new trail. And over time, the old one fades. You begin by noticing when the critic speaks, noticing its tone, its timing, its favorite phrases. You do not argue, you do not obey, you simply observe. Then you respond, not with anger, but with care. You say, "I hear you. I know you're trying to protect me, but I choose a different way." You offer yourself the words you've longed to hear. "I'm proud of you. You're allowed to rest. You're doing the best you can." These phrases are not indulgent. They are medicine. Your brain listens. It rewires. Neurons shift. Connections change. The critic grows quieter, and a new voice begins to rise. A voice of support. This voice is not naive. It sees your imperfections, but does not punish you for them. It holds you with honesty and warmth, like a friend who knows your story and loves you anyway. You may feel resistance. The critic is persistent. It will return. But each time you choose compassion, you weaken its grip. You can also use imagery. Picture the critic as a frightened child, trying to keep you safe. You do not scold the child. You comfort it. You say, You don't have to be afraid. I've got this now. Or imagine the critic as an old teacher, strict, tired, well-meaning. You thank it for its lessons and gently retire it. You become your own guide. This is not easy, but it is possible, and it begins with practice. You can write to yourself a letter of kindness, a note of encouragement. You can speak aloud. You can place a hand on your heart and breathe. Each act is a signal, a message to your brain. We are safe. We are loved. We are enough. Tonight, as you lie here, you may hear the critic stir. You may feel its familiar pull. But now, you have a choice. You can listen with compassion. You can respond with care. You can begin to rewrite the story. And as the critic softens, another possibility opens. A new way of thinking, a new way of being. It begins in the brain itself, in the pathways that shape your thoughts. Next, you'll step into the science of neuroplasticity and discover how kindness can reshape the very structure of your mind. Chapter 6. Neuroplasticity, Rewriting the Mind's Pathways. The summary of this chapter: your brain is not fixed. It is a garden. Each act of kindness plants a new seed, and over time, the pathways of anxiety can be overgrown with peace. You'll explore how compassion reshapes your mind, one gentle repetition at a time. Your mind is not a stone. It is not carved in permanence, not locked in the shape of yesterday's fears. It is soft, alive, and ever-changing, a garden of pathways, growing with each experience, each thought, each breath. This is the quiet miracle of neuroplasticity. It means your brain can change, not just in childhood, but now, tonight, as you lie here in stillness. Imagine your thoughts as trails through a forest. Some are well-worn, paths of worry, self-criticism, doubt. You've walked them often, sometimes without meaning to. They are familiar, but they are not the only way through. Each time you choose a new thought, a kind one, a gentle one, you begin to clear a new trail. At first it feels awkward, like stepping through tall grass. But with repetition, the path becomes smoother. Your brain begins to prefer it. This is how healing happens, not in sudden leaps, but in quiet steps. Each act of self-compassion is a signal to your brain. This is safe. This is good. Let's do this again. Neurons, the cells that carry your thoughts, connect through tiny branches called synapses. When you repeat a thought or behavior, those branches grow stronger. They become highways of habit. And when you stop using a pathway, it fades, like a trail reclaimed by nature. You are not stuck. Even the deepest grooves of anxiety can be softened. Even the loudest voices of fear can be quieted. Your brain is listening, and it is willing to change. But change does not come from force. It comes from gentleness, from choosing kindness again and again, even when it feels unfamiliar. You may begin with small practices: a breath before reacting, a pause before judging yourself, a moment of gratitude for something simple, the softness of your pillow, the rhythm of your breath. These moments matter. They are not trivial. They are seeds, and your brain is fertile ground. Studies show that mindfulness and compassion can reshape the brain's structure. The prefrontal cortex, the part that helps you regulate emotions, grows thicker. The amygdala, the part that scans for danger, becomes less reactive. You become calmer, more resilient, more able to choose peace. This is not just theory, it is biology, and you are living it now. As you lie here, your brain is responding to the rhythm of your breath, the softness of your thoughts, the safety of this moment. You are creating new pathways, You are walking a new trail, and with each step, the old ones fade. You may still feel anxiety. That is okay. Healing is not the absence of fear. It is the presence of choice. You can feel the fear and choose kindness anyway. You can hear the critic and respond with care. You can notice the storm and breathe through it. Each time you do, you strengthen the new path. You teach your brain that safety is possible, that peace is familiar, that compassion is home. Let yourself rest in this truth. You are not broken. You are becoming. Your brain is not a prison. It is a garden. And tonight, you are planting seeds. You may not see the flowers yet, but they are growing beneath the surface, in silence, in softness. And as they grow, you begin to feel something new, a lightness in your thoughts, a spaciousness in your mind, a sense that healing is not just possible, but already underway. This spaciousness invites attention, not the kind that judges, but the kind that observes, the kind that says, I see you, I'm here. Next, you'll explore this gentle attention, the light of mindfulness, and how it becomes medicine for the places anxiety hides. Chapter 7. Mindful Attention, the Light that Heals. The summary of this chapter. When you pay attention without judgment, your brain begins to heal. Mindfulness is the lantern in the dark, illuminating the places anxiety hides. Tonight, you learn how awareness becomes medicine, a gentle gaze that soothes the mind's restless tide. There is a light inside you. It does not flicker or burn. It glows softly, like moonlight on still water. This light is your attention, your ability to notice, to witness, to be present. You may think of attention as effort, as focus, as something you must strain to hold. But tonight, you learn a different way. Mindful attention is not a grip. It is a release. It is the art of seeing without grasping, of listening without judging. Your breath moves, your thoughts swirl, your body shifts, and you simply notice. This noticing is not passive. It is powerful. It is the beginning of healing. Mindfulness is the practice of being here, fully, gently, without trying to change what you find. It is the lantern you carry into the quiet corners of your mind. And when you shine it with kindness, even the darkest places begin to soften. Your brain responds to this light. When you observe your thoughts without judgment, you activate regions that regulate emotion, reduce reactivity, and increase clarity. The prefrontal cortex lights up. The amygdala calms down. You become less tangled in fear, more anchored in peace. This is not a trick. It is biology, and it begins with awareness. Imagine your thoughts as clouds drifting across the sky. Some are light and passing. Others are heavy, stormy, loud. Mindfulness does not chase them away. It watches them float, knowing they will pass. You are not the clouds. You are the sky. Vast, open, unchanged by weather. This shift from identification to observation is the heart of mindful attention. You stop being the storm. You become the witness. You may notice sensations in your body, a tightness in your chest, a flutter in your stomach, a warmth in your hands. These are messages, not threats. Mindfulness lets you read them without fear. You may notice thoughts that repeat. I'm not enough. What if I fail? I should be doing more. You do not argue. You do not obey. You simply say, I see you. And in that seeing, the thought loses its grip. This is how awareness becomes medicine, not by fixing, but by holding, not by resisting, but by allowing. Your nervous system listens. It hears the signal. There is no danger in this moment, and it begins to settle. You can practice this in many ways. Through breath, through movement, through stillness. You can sit quietly, or walk slowly, or lie down and feel the weight of your body against the earth. You can bring attention to your senses, the sound of your breath, the texture of your blanket, the rhythm of your heartbeat. Each sensation is a doorway into presence. You do not need to be perfect. Your mind will wander. That is its nature. And each time you notice the wandering, you gently return. This return is the practice. This return is the healing. Over time, your brain changes. Neural pathways of reactivity fade. Pathways of calm and clarity grow. You become less ruled by habit, more guided by choice. Mindfulness also strengthens compassion. When you observe your pain without judgment, you begin to care for it. You stop pushing it away. You start holding it close. This holding is not weakness. It is courage to face what hurts and stay. You may begin to notice beauty in small things, in quiet moments, in the way light touches your skin, or how your breath rises like a tide. This noticing is not escape. It is return to the life that is here, not the one imagined or feared. Tonight, as you lie here, let your attention soften. Let it drift like a feather on the breeze of your breath. Notice the thoughts. Notice the sensations. Notice the space between them. You are not trying to change. You are learning to see. And in this seeing, you begin to heal. You may feel a spaciousness in your chest, a quiet in your mind, a sense of being held by something gentle and vast. This is the light of awareness. It does not fix. It does not force. It simply shines. And as it shines, you begin to feel your body respond. Not just your mind, but your muscles, your breath, your skin. Next, you'll explore this deeper connection, how compassion lives not only in thought, but in the body itself, in the felt sense of kindness that soothes you from the inside out. Chapter 8. Self-compassion in the body, a felt sense of kindness. The summary of this chapter. Compassion is not just a thought, it is a sensation, a softening in your chest, a loosening in your jaw. You'll explore how your body responds to gentle care and how physical practices can soothe the anxious mind. Tonight, kindness becomes something you feel, not just think. Your body remembers. Even when your mind forgets, your muscles hold stories, your breath carries echoes, your skin listens for safety. Compassion begins in thought, but it does not end there. It travels downward, into the tissues, into the bones, into the quiet spaces where anxiety hides. You may think of kindness as a word, a phrase spoken softly in your mind. But tonight, you learn to feel it, to let compassion become a physical experience, a sensation that lives in your body. Begin with your breath. Let it move slowly, like a tide washing over the shore of your ribs. Feel the inhale stretch your chest. Feel the exhale soften your belly. This rhythm is not just calming, it is instructive. It tells your body, you are safe. Safety is not an idea. It is a felt sense. It is the warmth in your chest when you are held. It is the release in your shoulders when you are understood. It is the quiet in your jaw when you are allowed to rest. Your nervous system listens to sensation. It does not wait for logic. It responds to touch, to breath, to posture. And when you offer it kindness, it begins to unwind. Place a hand on your heart. Feel the weight of your palm, the warmth of your skin. This simple gesture activates the vagus nerve, the pathway of calm. It is a signal. I am here. I care. You may feel a subtle shift, a slowing of your breath, a softening of your gaze, a quieting of your thoughts. This is compassion entering the body. You can also use movement, gentle stretching, slow walking, even rocking side to side. These motions mimic the rhythms of comfort, the patterns of being soothed. They tell your body, you are not alone. Touch matters too. A warm blanket, a soft pillow, a weighted sensation across your chest. These are not luxuries. They are tools. They speak in the language your body understands. Your skin is covered in receptors that respond to gentle pressure. When activated, they send signals to your brain that reduce cortisol, increase oxytocin, and restore balance. This is not imagination. It is science. And it is happening now. You may notice areas of tension. Your neck, your back, your stomach. These places are not wrong. They are holding on. They are waiting for permission to let go. Offer them that permission, not by force, but by attention. Place your awareness there, like a warm light. Say silently, you are allowed to soften. This is the practice, not fixing, but feeling. Not pushing, but allowing. You are not trying to escape your body. You are returning to it. You are learning to inhabit it with kindness. Even your posture matters. When you curl inward, your body prepares for defense. When you open gently, your body prepares for connection. Try sitting with your spine long, your shoulders relaxed, your hands resting softly. Feel the difference. Feel the invitation to peace. You can also use sound, a hum, a soft chant, a lullaby. These vibrations travel through your chest, your throat, your bones. They soothe from the inside out. Your body is not separate from your healing. It is the vessel, the canvas, the partner. And when you treat it with care, it responds. You may feel emotions rise, sadness, grief, relief. Let them come. They are part of the release. They are part of the return. You are not broken. You are unfolding. Let yourself rest in this truth. Your body is worthy of kindness, not because it performs, but because it exists. Tonight, as you lie here, feel the softness in your chest, the warmth in your limbs, the quiet in your breath. This is compassion, not as a thought, but as a sensation. And as you rest in this felt sense, you may begin to notice how others affect your body too, how relationships shape your nervous system, how connection can heal or harm. Next, you'll explore this mirror, how the way others treat you reflects inward, and how self-compassion can transform the way you relate. Chapter 9. The Mirror of Others, How Relationships Reflect Healing. The summary of this chapter. You are wired for connection. The way others treat you shapes your inner world, but the way you treat yourself can reshape it. You'll learn how self-compassion strengthens relationships and how healing ripples outward. You are not meant to heal alone. From the moment you are born, your nervous system begins to tune itself to the presence of others. A glance, a tone, a touch. These become the mirrors in which your sense of self is formed. Connection is not a luxury, it is biology. Your brain is wired to seek closeness, to read faces, to feel safe in the presence of warmth. This is called co-regulation, the way your body calms when someone else is calm beside you. Think of a baby resting on a parent's chest. Their heartbeat slows, their breath deepens, their muscles soften. This is not learned. It is instinct. It is the nervous system responding to the safety of another. You carry this wiring into adulthood. Even now, your body listens for cues. Is this person safe? Do they see me? Do I belong here? When someone speaks to you with kindness, your body responds. Oxytocin rises, cortisol falls, your heart rate steadies, your breath flows more freely. But when someone speaks with harshness or withdraws, or judges, your body tenses. Your brain scans for danger. Your muscles brace. This is not weakness. It is protection. Over time, these patterns shape your inner world. If you are met with love, you begin to believe you are lovable. If you are met with criticism, you may begin to echo that voice inside. This is the mirror effect. Relationships reflect back to you what you begin to believe about yourself. But here is the quiet truth. You can change the mirror. When you practice self-compassion, you offer yourself a new reflection. You say, I am worthy of care. And slowly, your nervous system begins to trust that truth. This shift ripples outward. When you treat yourself with kindness, you become more open to receiving kindness. You begin to notice warmth where you once expected rejection. You also begin to offer warmth more freely. Compassion is contagious. Your tone softens. Your gaze steadies. Your presence becomes a balm to those around you. This is not performance. It is resonance. Your nervous system, regulated by self-compassion, becomes a safe space for others. You may notice changes in your relationships. Conversations feel less tense. Conflicts soften. You listen more deeply. You speak more gently. This is not because others have changed. It is because you have. Your inner world, once shaped by fear, is now shaped by care. You begin to set boundaries, not from anger, but from self-respect. You begin to forgive, not from obligation, but from understanding. You may also begin to grieve for the relationships that could not hold you, for the mirrors that distorted your worth. This grief is sacred. It clears space for new reflections to form. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself honor it. And then, let yourself imagine something new. Imagine relationships where you are seen, heard, held, where your nervous system can rest and your heart can open. These relationships begin with you, with the way you speak to yourself in quiet moments, with the way you hold your own pain without judgment. You are not waiting for others to heal you. You are becoming the mirror you've always needed. Tonight, as you lie here, feel the warmth of your own presence. Feel the way your breath offers comfort to your body. Feel the way your thoughts can be softened by kindness. You are not alone. You are connected to every person who has ever longed to be seen with gentle eyes. And as you rest in this truth, you may begin to wonder, what does it mean to live this way? To carry compassion into every moment, not just in thought, but in action. Next, you'll explore this quiet revolution, how self-compassion becomes strength, and how living with gentle power can transform the way you move through the world. Chapter 10. The Quiet Revolution, Living with Gentle Power. The summary of this chapter. Self-compassion is not passive. It is brave. It allows you to face pain without flinching, to speak kindly even when afraid. Tonight, you'll reflect on how this quiet strength can transform your life, one breath at a time. There is a kind of strength that does not shout. It does not clench its fists or demand to be seen. It moves like water, soft, steady, carving new paths through stone. This strength lives in you. It is the quiet power of self-compassion. Not weakness, not indulgence, but the courage to stay present with what hurts, without turning away. You may think of bravery as boldness, as action, as standing tall in the face of fear. But tonight, you learn a different kind of bravery, the kind that kneels beside your pain and says, I'm here. This is the quiet revolution. It begins not in battle, but in breath, not in conquest, but in care. When you choose kindness in moments of struggle, you are rewriting the rules of how you live. You are choosing to respond rather than react, to soften rather than brace. Your nervous system listens. It remembers every time you meet fear with gentleness. It begins to trust that you are safe with yourself. This trust is transformative. It changes how you move through the world. You stop chasing perfection. You start honoring progress. You stop fearing failure. You start embracing learning. You begin to speak differently to yourself, to others. Your words carry warmth, even when they carry truth. You no longer use shame as a motivator. You use love. This shift is subtle, but profound. It changes your relationships, your choices, your sense of purpose. You may find yourself pausing before reacting, breathing before responding, asking, "What do I need right now?" instead of, "What's wrong with me?" This is power, not the kind that dominates, but the kind that liberates. You begin to set boundaries not from fear, but from clarity. You begin to say no without guilt, and yes without resentment. You begin to trust your own voice, not because it is perfect, but because it is honest. This honesty is rooted in compassion. It allows you to face discomfort without collapsing, to hold grief without drowning, to feel anger without harming. You become a safe space for yourself, and in doing so, you become a safe space for others. This is how healing ripples outward, not through force, but through presence. You may notice that your energy shifts. You no longer spend it on self-criticism, on hiding, on pretending. You begin to invest it in creativity, in connection, in rest. Rest becomes an act of resistance, of reclamation, of saying, "I deserve to feel whole." You begin to live differently, not faster, not louder, but deeper. You notice beauty in small things, the way light moves across your skin, the way your breath returns after a long day. You begin to listen to your body's wisdom, to its signals, its rhythms, its needs. You begin to trust that you are enough even when you are tired, even when you are uncertain, even when you are healing. This trust is not built overnight. It is built breath by breath, choice by choice, moment by moment. And each time you choose compassion, you strengthen it. You become a quiet force, not passive, not invisible, but grounded. You begin to lead with softness, to walk with intention, to speak with care. This is the quiet revolution. It does not need applause. It does not need permission. It only needs you. Tonight, as you lie here, feel the strength in your softness. Feel the courage in your breath. Feel the power in your presence. You are not waiting to become whole. You are remembering that you already are. And as this remembering deepens, you may begin to wonder, how do you carry this into tomorrow? How do you live with gentle power in a world that often forgets how to be kind? In next final chapter, you'll gather tools for the journey ahead. Simple practices, daily rituals, and quiet reminders to help you stay close to the healing you've begun. Chapter 11. The Soft Landing. Advice for the journey ahead. The summary of this chapter. Now that you've walked through the science of healing, you'll gather gentle tools to carry with you. Simple practices, daily rituals, and mindful reframes will become your compass in anxious moments. This chapter offers a warm hand to hold and a way forward. You've come far, not in distance, but in depth. You've wandered through the quiet corridors of your mind, felt the breath soften your chest, watched your nervous system begin to trust again. Now, you arrive at a soft landing, not an ending, but a place to pause, to gather what you've learned, to carry it gently into the days ahead. Healing is not a single moment. It is a rhythm, a practice, a way of being. And like any rhythm, it needs tools to keep time. Begin with breath. Let it be your anchor, your reset, your reminder. In anxious moments, return to the inhale, slow, steady, spacious. Let the exhale carry away what no longer serves. You can pair breath with words, simple phrases spoken softly, like mantras for the nervous system. I am safe. I am enough. I am allowed to rest. These are not just thoughts. They are signals. They shape your chemistry, create rituals, tiny ones that fit inside your day like pebbles in your pocket, a warm drink in the morning, a stretch before sleep, a note to yourself on the mirror. These rituals become anchors, moments of predictability in a world that often feels uncertain. Let your body guide you. It knows what it needs. Sometimes it asks for movement, sometimes for stillness. Listen. Respond with care. Touch can be a tool, a hand on your heart, a weighted blanket, a warm bath. These are not indulgences. They are invitations to return to your body with kindness. Use your senses. They are portals to presence. Notice the texture of fabric, the scent of tea, the sound of birds. Let these details ground you when your thoughts begin to spiral. Practice reframing, not to deny your pain, but to soften its edges. Instead of I failed, try I learned. Instead of I'm broken, try I'm healing. These shifts are small, but they change the path your mind walks. Keep a journal, not for perfection, but for reflection. Let your thoughts spill without judgment. Let your emotions find shape on the page. This is how you make sense of what lives inside. Connect with others. Not everyone, just those who feel safe. Let yourself be seen. Let yourself see. Healing deepens in relationship. And when connection feels hard, return to yourself. You are never truly alone when you can offer yourself warmth. Remember that setbacks are part of the path. You will forget these tools. You will feel anxious again. That does not mean you've failed. It means you are human. Each time you return to compassion, you strengthen the pathway. Each time you choose gentleness, you deepen the healing. Let nature remind you, the way trees bend in wind, the way rivers carve through stone, the way seasons change without asking permission. You are part of this rhythm. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to begin again. Tonight, as you lie here, feel the weight of these tools not as burden, but as comfort. They are yours now. They live in your breath, your body, your choices. You do not need to remember everything. Just one thing. That kindness is always available, even in the hardest moments. Especially then. Let this be your compass. Let this be your quiet revolution. And as you drift towards sleep, you may begin to wonder, how does this healing shape the way you dream? How might your mind, now softened by compassion, begin to imagine new stories as you close your eyes? You've walked through the quiet science of healing, not with urgency, but with breath, with softness, with presence. Each chapter has been a lantern, lighting the path inward, from the rhythm of your breath to the rewiring of your mind, from the chemistry of compassion to the quiet courage of living gently. You've gathered tools, not heavy ones, but light enough to carry in your pocket. A phrase, a breath, a pause, a touch. Let them guide you through tomorrow. Let them remind you that healing is not a destination, but a way of walking. And now, as your body settles into stillness, as your breath becomes the lullaby of sleep, know that this journey is not over. It continues, in dreams, in mornings, in the next gentle chapter. So rest now, with kindness wrapped around you like a soft blanket. Let your thoughts drift like clouds, your muscles melt like candle wax, your heart beats steady and slow. Good night, dear traveler. You are safe. You are healing. You are enough. We'll meet again in the next episode, where the journey deepens and the science of self-compassion continues to unfold like petals in morning light.